Hi there, welcome to the viral content where we bring you stories from the internet. Enjoy! Story 1.
6 years ago I switched my wife's cat with a more well-behaved look-alike. 6 years ago, I swapped my then-girlfriend now wife's cat with a more well-behaved look-alike. She had an all-black cat that was extremely aggressive. It scratched everyone, hissed at everyone, and didn't use its litter box half the time. My wife insisted she could get it to behave better. One week she went out of town to visit her family and I was supposed to go to her apartment and feed it. The first night I went over, it scratched the shit out of my arm. I joked to the cat that it's not special and I'll replace it if it scratches again. The joke stuck with me until I had thought about it enough that it wasn't a joke. The next morning I went to the local animal shelter. Found an identical cat who was already litter box trained and acclimated to people, but was a little skittish. Its old owner died of a heart attack and the animal shelter people said they think that's why it was skittish. But overall, it was a lot friendlier and better behaved, and the skittishness would help it resemble the original cat. So I adopted it, took it to my wife's apartment, settled it in, then drove her original cat to an animal shelter a town over. I was paranoid my wife would find out if I took it to a local one. It's been 6 years since then. We got married 4 years ago. We still have the swapped cat. It answers to the original cat's name. My wife knows nothing. She loves this cat and brags about how much better behaved it is. Every time I see it, I feel like a total piece of shit.
Hope you enjoyed this story. On to the next one. Story 2.
I found out that my boyfriend of 2 years is married and has kids. I'm showing myself to his family tomorrow at his church. Throw away because I don't want my followers to see this. I'm just so confused right now and need to talk to somebody. I've been seeing this guy Adam, 32 for 2 years. He's from another town but visits me on weekends. I never met his family, friends or been to his town. I know that he works at the church and he takes pride in that. 3 weeks ago, I found out that he's actually married and has 2 kids. I was devastated and in a state of disbelief, but most of all, I was mad, especially after I confirmed this via his wife's social media account. We're still talking and I haven't broke up with him yet. I planned and decided to show myself to his family on Sunday at his church and let them know that he used me and took advantage. I plan on ending it right there and then. I'm currently in his town staying at a hotel. I'm doing this tomorrow and no one knows except myself. He's still texting me lies thinking that I'm stupid or ignorant. I feel terrible but something's pushing me to do this. Don't know if it's anger or feeling bad for his wife and kids. I'm not gonna lie, I'm worried this might backfire at me, but at this point I have nothing to lose. I just feel like I need to get my respect and dignity back after being lied to and fooled for 2 years.
Such a captivating story, wasn't it? On to the next one. Story 3.
I'm a chef and I've been living a lie about the quality and authenticity of my food. I'm a personal chef for an upper-class family in the US with a multi-million-dollar house who go on many vacations every year. They claim they miss authentic European and Asian food after living abroad for several years. When I first started cooking for them, I made elaborate dishes that took hours to make, finding the exact ingredients, examining each piece of carrot, potato, or chicken by hand, finding the right brands and going to multiple grocery stores to find the exact Pinot Noir to make the perfect red wine sauce. They didn't like it. I once messed up a dish and had to remake it really quickly, so I took a few shortcuts to make sure it was still tasty. A normally 12-hour dish, I made a quick version of in less than 30 minutes using vinegar instead of red wine. They said it was the tastiest thing they ever ate. It reminded them of the times they were traveling through some European mountains. Since then, I've realized I don't need to spend hours making all the food perfectly authentic. I stopped using expensive brands of wine. Sometimes I don't even use wine at all. Grape juice or vinegar or even sugar seems to taste just as good, if not better to them. I've saved tens of thousands of dollars and probably thousands of hours getting cheaper ingredients that have already been brined or marinated, and they absolutely love it. They even had me prepare larger meals for parties or events, and they'd claim it was authentic French or Italian food. They'd ask me what combination of flour I used to make the pasta that was so clearly handmade. It was 99-cent boxed pasta from Walmart. Or it was clear I used a very particular Pinot Noir for a coq au vin for which I actually just added a little fruit juice with some vodka. Or that the saffron really made a difference in my risotto when I really just used turmeric. Or how the food tastes so much better when sauces are freshly made with raw ingredients when it's really mayonnaise plus ketchup or some other dumb combination of common condiments. I just smile and nod. A part of me feels guilty, but not guilty enough to go back to making the more authentic versions that they just complain about that costs me way more time and money anyways. I'm more just worried that one day they'll find out, but I've gotten away with it for almost 8 years now.
This one was spot on. On to the next one. Story 4.
I think my dad might have killed someone when I was a kid. One night, when I, 36F, was about 8 or 9 years old, mid-90s, my father took my little brother and I to Blockbuster to pick out movies. We left there and my dad stopped at a corner store for some snacks and he parked on the side of the building. He left me and my brother in the car while he ran in. On his way out, a man came up behind him and held something to his side. My dad pretended he was going to hand the man his wallet, but he instead elbowed the man in his face and he fell to the ground. The guy got up and came at my dad with a knife and my dad fought it away from him and stabbed him with it. It was long and that shit went all the way in. The guy let out this horrible groan. I can still hear it. He left the guy on the floor writhing, hopped in the car and took off. For so many years I thought this was a dream until my little brother mentioned it to me when asking if I remembered. We've never brought this up to my father, ever. I've always wondered what happened to that guy, but this was way before cell phones and stuff, so who knows. It's crazy the weight that comes off of someone when they say things they've always been holding in.
Hope you liked this story. On to the next one. Story 5.
I'm going to leave my fiancé for my boyfriend 6 months ago. My F25 fiancé, M28, asked if I would be willing to have an open relationship. I agreed. Everything was okay until like 3 months ago when he asked if we could switch from open to poly. I agreed again. He started dating a girl from work and I started dating a guy from my gym. Now this guy, M26, is so different than my fiancé. He takes me on dates every week, he brings me flowers and food at work. He texts me just to say hi. He's sweet and affectionate. My fiancé, however, we've been together for 4 years. He only gets me flowers for my birthday. He's never affectionate. His idea of a date is playing board games or watching The Witcher. I was talking to my mom about this and she asked me which one makes me happier and I guess it clicked. I like the way my boyfriend treats me while my fiancé is more of a roommate at this point. After my talk with my mom I decided to talk to my fiancé as well. I just told him that I wish he would be more affectionate with me. He just shrugged and said he isn't into chick flick. So I guess I'm going to break up with my fiancé because I don't want to marry a man that never takes me out or buy me flowers or holds my hand. I want someone that shows their emotions. I don't know if me and my boyfriend are going to work out since it's still new, but at least now I know I have options. I grew up around men that were emotionally unavailable and most women in my family constantly told that men aren't affectionate, so I guess I kinda believed it. My first 2 boyfriends were like this as well. They didn't like showing affection and my fiancé is the 3rd guy I've been with. It feels good to know not all men are like my mom made me think they were. I'm on my way to have dinner with my fiancé and I'm going to call off the engagement.
Wow, those were quite some stories. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe. Press the bell icon to get notified when we post a video. Until next time, the viral content. Remember the name.